Thanks for clicking on the channel. I'm Mike, the driver. Today we're going to be looking at the Dodge Charger RT. And let's see if this V8 powered sedan is still worth having in 2020. All right, let's go. The LD chassis has been around since 2011 with its most recent refresh in 2015. What I most like about the refresh are in the headlights. You've got LEDs that frame the corners of your headlight, and there's the Dodge logo that's embedded in there. To me, that looks pretty cool. You also have the hood scoop that you get for when you have the V8 engine. And this one's got the 370 horsepower, 395 foot-pound torque Hemi V8 in it. A lot of pulling power, a lot of grunt, lots of noise. I'm a fan so far. You also have your spoiler down here. This particular model, or this particular car, still has the bumper guards on, which I know you're supposed to take off. I couldn't personally figure out how to take them off. And this particular model of the car has been rode hard and put away wet a few too many times in my opinion, so I don't think the paint work looks pretty good underneath those covers now. The wheel tire package on this car, it's square all around, which is surprising for me given the performance credentials of the car. But you've got 245 20s in the front and the rear. No special Brembo brakes on this one, just comes with your standard steel brakes, which stop the car really well. So you've got your Hemi logo up front, let everybody know what you got under the hood, but so does the rest of the styling. And part of that refresh, well, I think actually all LDs have this. You've got like this crease in the side here, which kind of harkens back to the earlier Chargers of the day. All right, in the back, you've got your integrated deck lid spoiler. I believe it's the same spoiler that comes on the Scat Pack and the Hellcat even. Other than that, you've got your pretty basic LED lighting that goes around. It says Dodge, and you're marking for which model this is, or trim level in the model, sorry. Also, we've got these really big exhaust pipes, make a lot of noise. They let that Hemi V8 be heard. You also have, which I think is pretty cool, you've got actual vents here, not just fake stuck-on vents. So I'm gonna guess that this helps with drag in the rear by getting some of that high pressure out of the wheel well. Practicality-wise, the trunk is pretty good. It's able to hold all the stuff that I need right here. You also have a 60-40 split where the seats fold down, and that's done from the inside. So getting into the rear of the car, it's a little more snug than up front, but I still have plenty of room. I'm mostly legs anyway. I think I'd probably have to ask myself as the driver to pull the seat back up a little bit, but I've got plenty of foot room. Back here, it's not that bad. You've got vent, you've got 2 USB ports, got some cup holders and the armrest here. Overall, it's not bad. Still plenty of headroom. You don't have to worry about bumping my head or anything like that. I could definitely do this for a moderate to long drive. Maybe anything over 2 hours, I'm probably going to want out. But I think it's pretty good. And if you have small kids, it's pretty nice. You've got the latch system built in. And like I said before, you've got the pass-through, so you can have someone sit behind the passenger, have gear or whatever. If you're going snowboarding or skiing, you can put in things right here, or vice versa behind the seat that I'm sitting in. So overall, a nice back seat. All right, sitting inside the Charger, you've got plenty of space, got plenty of headroom. I'm 6'4", tons of room up front, can still reach all the controls. Overall, it's really good. As far as the touch and quality of the materials in here, I'm less impressed. While everything I'm touching here is soft, it feels cheap. I feel like even though this car is not the top of the range, it's still $38,000. So I would expect it to be a little nicer, especially considering that given the competition in this class, you can get a nicer vehicle for the price. I really like the transmission. It's the ZF 8-speed transmission that Chrysler uses in pretty much, or FCA uses in a lot of their products. It lights up when to show you what gear you're in, which I like. Or maybe not what gear, but show if you're in park, reverse, neutral, drive, things like that. And it also has a manual mode. But I'm a huge fan of the paddles on the steering wheel. They're lightning fast, responsive. They're awesome. This car has surprised me a bit. With everything set in sport mode, the suspension and steering is pretty responsive. I wasn't expecting that from a car this big or one with the Dodge branding on it. The Hemi V8 also really pulls and gets you out of trouble if you ever get in any. That I was expecting because for Dodge, they're all about the engine. Currently got everything set in sport mode, which has tightened up the steering a bit. Really lets you hear the exhaust note. Engine picks up better. I love the way the transmission responds. So when you use the paddles, it responds right away. There's very little lag. When downshifting or upshifting, it bang, it's right there. So the Charger RT has the 370 horsepower, 395 foot-pound torque engine. It's pretty responsive. This is the lower V8 that you can get in the Charger range. And I mean, to call it lower it's a bit of a disservice to the engine. It produces a lot of power, a lot of grunt. Every time I put my foot down, it's ready to go. The combination of that engine and this transmission is really, really good. I gotta say, good on Dodge for that one. The exhaust note in this car is pretty good. Initially, when I was driving it around, I was thinking like, oh, this is gonna get old and it's gonna drone. But actually, on the highway, there's no droning at all. But when you want to hit it, you just put your foot into it, and it's ready to go. I love it. This is so much fun. Something tells me I'm going to go through a lot of gas today. The view out of the car is pretty good as well. You do have a slight reduced visibility. Looking over the front, you've got that big bulge for the scoop, but it's not too bad. And given the fact that that's just the price of a Hemi payment, I think I'll take it. Your sight lines out of the side mirrors are really good. Rear view mirror, very good visibility, much better than the Kia Stinger. That thing was like a porthole on a ship. Fortunately, I don't have any sunroof or anything in this particular one that I'm driving. I like the look of the gauges. They're really clear. You've got the analog needles for RPM and miles per hour. And then right in the middle, you've got an 7-inch screen that gives you all kinds of information. It'll show you everything from your reaction times, G-forces, to regular information such as your trip information, miles per gallon, things like that. But I gotta say, they really crammed a lot of information here. It's really good. I don't know how many people are gonna use it. I mean, it's nice to have your track times, your lap times in there. I don't know how many people are tracking their Challenger or Charger RT. It'll also log your fastest times or fastest mile per hour. I can see whoever had the car before me was up into the 120s. I don't think I'm going to be doing that today, but it's nice to know I can do it. The fidelity on the screen is really good too. It's super clear, really good contrast. Frankly, it's what you should expect in 2020 for a vehicle, but there are still a lot of manufacturers out there who haven't updated all of their screens in the cars, and you end up with some rather low quality ones. In the center console, you get an 8-inch touchscreen, and again, super clear, super responsive. You've got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, all those things are there. And it's also where you can go in and customize the different settings for the vehicle. I believe they call it the power pages or the track pack or something, but you go in and you can customize your suspension, transmission, all those things, your traction control. It's pretty cool. All right, final thoughts on the Dodge Charger RT. I think this is a car that does what it attempts to do very well, and what that is, in my opinion, is entertain. From the really throaty, strong V8, that exhaust note that's always inside the cabin with you, to all the lap time gauges, reaction times, the power pages, things like that. I think it's all designed to entertain the driver. So if you're looking for a go-fast sedan that doesn't really care much about how it looks and feels on the inside, go for it. Otherwise, if you're trying to find something that you can fit your family in, but has a little better fit and finish, maybe you don't need that V8 horsepower, there are better options on the market. Again, what Dodge has here in the Charger RT, it's a very solid sedan, and the sales numbers prove that. But I just don't think that this is a car that I would ever want to buy. But if you're looking for an American V8 sedan in this price point, this is all you got. All right, thanks. All right, thanks for watching the video. Like and subscribe and leave a comment below if you enjoyed it. If not, leave a comment below as well. I'm always looking for feedback. I'm just starting this, so every little thing helps. Thank you. And a bug just flew in and ruined the shot. So